Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final mock draft before the draft. Today is Wednesday for me. This will be out Thursday morning, so draft will be on tomorrow. So let's go ahead and hop right into this. I have the whole mock draft already done over here on my third monitor, and we will be able to breeze right through, do all the picks, talk about them, discuss it, why I think it'll happen, and this is a predictive mock. This is not a what I would do sort of deal. So yeah, let's hop right into it. At number one, I felt like this is the general consensus right now. Not a whole lot of people are fighting it. At number one, Bryce Young, clearly a talented quarterback who definitely has some size concerns, and I'm not sure if that'll really matter here with Carolina. I feel like that has kind of died down. At number two, pretty straightforward as well. I don't think that this is going to be Will Anderson or Anthony Richardson or Jalen Carter. I think this is going to be CJ Stroud. You think about it, they have a young, new defensive-minded head coach. You want probably a pro-ready player already. And whether or not you want to wait for Caleb Williams, Drake May, whoever else breaks out next season, sure. But I think CJ Stroud suits the team best right now, and I think that would be a good pick at number two. And plus, you already have another pick inside the top 15 that you'd also like to use as well to get some more star talent. Number three makes it pretty easy, no legal concerns or anything like that. If you're fine with Jalen Carter, then I would go with Jalen Carter here. He is known as the best player in the draft. But to this point, we don't know where he's at legally. Teams know way more than anybody else right now about Jalen Carter and his legal situation. And so I will just end up going Will Anderson. At number four, Will Anderson is a good edge rusher. He's not like the top tier like Nick Bosa, Chase Young, all that good stuff where they are supposed to be an all-pro right as they hop into the league. Will Anderson, the only concern about him right now is he's already reached his ceiling, and that kind of is a little bit of a letdown. So at number three, you're still getting a good talent who's already probably going to be a Pro Bowler at the next level, and you just don't really expect for him to expand on his game further. At number four, a team needs a quarterback, and a team will get a quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts, probably most needed position right now is quarterback, and you draft Anthony Richardson at four. Maybe he doesn't come in and play right away, or you can play him right away and kind of deal with their growing pains as you go. I heard, Chris Collinsworth. He was talking about Anthony Richardson and how his throwing motion is intolerable at the next level, and that he's already working with a QB guru that can help him out. But it is interesting because you probably don't want him throwing the ball with all the concerns that I heard on him immediately. So whether or not he sits for a year, that's up to the Indianapolis Colts with what they want to do with him. At this next spot, I actually did end up going Jalen Carter. If anyone could turn Jalen Carter around, if there's any further concerns, I can see him dropping. But from what we know, the general consensus and all that good stuff, I will have Jalen Carter hopping off the board right here at number five. At number six, I'm going to get a very instinctual corner that happens to be a lot faster than a lot of people thought. He is a little bit smaller than the typical first corner off the board, but Devin Witherspoon should be and probably will be a great talent at the next level. I could really see him expanding on his game, getting even better in the Dan Campbell defense. At number seven, I actually got a little different here. I went Tyree Wilson. I'd probably have Christian Gonzalez, but I've done it too many times, so I will just go Tyree Wilson here at number seven. You're banking up on a high upside, toolsy players with a lot of length and incredible athleticism. At number seven, I think that's a pretty good spot and probably generally where Tyree Wilson will go. Heard that he's in the conversation at 2 and 3. Where the Seattle Seahawks are picking, it could have been, but ended up just going Tyree Wilson a little bit later, leaving Christian Gonzalez on the board here for the Atlanta Falcons. Bijan could definitely go here as well, but Christian Gonzalez, he's got the athleticism, he's got the size, he's got some of the intangibles, and so you look towards Christian Gonzalez and say you can mold him to be a really good corner, and I don't doubt that at all. To the next pick at number 9, glaring need at tackle. I went Paris Johnson Jr. Should be a good player at the next level. I don't really see why not. I've heard great things about him. It's just kind of how good can he get, and that's the only reason that he's not, in that top 5 to 7 conversation. I've had him going at 7 before, but I think for right now, I think I'll just stick with Paris Johnson at number 9 after Chicago trades down from that number 1 spot overall. Next pick, this one might take some of you guys by surprise. I'm going Peter Skoronski. We know the Howie Roseman trench game in the draft, all right? They are literally all about the trenches, and you can possibly get the best offensive lineman in the draft at number 10. I don't think Howie Roseman, I mean, obviously he might hesitate, but at this spot, Peter Skoronski at number 10, I think it's too likely to the point where I'm not going to pass it up. Sure, Bijan could go. I had him falling in this one. I'm sure I could have gotten him earlier, but I wanted Skoronski off the board at 10. I really wanted that. So it actually played out just fine. Skoronski was left. I don't think that the Bears will take him. They probably want a true tackle with no arm, size concerns. But Peter Skoronski could kick into guard and probably will play guard at the next level at a very high level. So we'll kind of see how that goes. At number 11, I ended up just going quarterback Will Levis, another guy you're banking on the upside. It looks a lot like he's just good. All right, we'll put it that way. He's good. I don't think he's worth all the hype he's getting. I think he's still QB4 behind Anthony Richardson. Now, I could be wrong here, but I think Will Levis is still a good quarterback and can be great, but a lot of things have to go right. He has to learn the right things. He has to take his time. He's got to have the right coaching. So a lot might have to go right, but I think Will Levis will still be a good talent. And so taking him at 11 probably isn't that bad. At this next pick for the Texans, I actually went with Nolan Smith, a player that ran a 4.39 at the combine as a edge rusher. He'll be a really good player. Whether or not he plays strictly off the edge, hand in the dirt type guy, I don't know. He might just be a stand-up linebacker off the edge. It's hard to tell. But with DeMeco Ryans, you've got a lot to mold here. You've got a big clump of clay, and you just got to mold it the right way. And I think Nolan Smith could be one of the best players on the defensive side of the ball for the Texans, right away. That being said, I think that there is a chance that you can miss on him. I think there is a chance that he isn't as good or has injury concerns. So at number 12, you're taking some sort of risk, but you're banking on the upside of Nolan Smith. That's what you got to do. You got to take your chances as a bad team. Shoot for the stars. I don't think that you'd go Bijan here. Jackson Smith and Jigba would be quite good. He's very solid as a player. Hamstrings do bother me, though. I just thought about it over when I heard someone else's opinion on it, and oh my goodness. I didn't even think about it that way. It kind of opened my eyes up. I'm not saying he's going to drop all that far for me in this draft. It kind of did just push him down the board a little bit. Very next pick for my favorite team who has recently just moved up 2 spots. I will actually end up going down the board, getting Dalton Kincaid at number 13, a player I wouldn't be all that mad with. Got comps to Kelsey. Somehow, they play the same game. He can find soft spots in zones. I think that he'll be good at the next level. I'm not sure if he's 13 pick worthy, but I think that this is definitely a possibility. And I like the odds over Jackson Smith and Jigba, and that's probably the only other spot or other place I would have gone at 13. So at number 14, next pick, I just went Joey Porter Jr., just the best corner available. And then, he's got length, kind of ruled out some speed concerns running that 4.51 at the combine, and then at his pro day ran in the 4.4s, I think 4.46 or somewhere around there. They kind of put a little bit of minds at ease, or a few minds at ease. Next pick, I ended up just going Darnell Wright. I think you want the most pro-ready, consistent tackle at the next level to go play your right tackle spot. I don't think you could slide him over to left tackle, so Mekhi Becton might have to move, whatever might have to happen. I think Darnell Wright will have to play right tackle. Just wasn't good at left tackle, moved to right and was spectacular, really consistent and consistently aggressive, and it worked. So he wasn't over pursuing or anything like that. So you love to see that from Darnell Wright. And like I said, I think you're looking for the most pro ready. Sure, maybe Broderick Jones could be developed into a better player than Darnell Wright at some point, but right now Broderick Jones is very raw, very athletic, very much a huge human being, but Darnell Wright, you're looking at someone right now who's probably going to excel at the next level a little bit more than Broderick Jones right away. Next pick with the Washington Commanders, there's a list of guys that you could take here. I don't even think I'd be surprised with a Michael Mayer type player. Jackson Smith and Jigba, if you want Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba in the slot. Curtis Samuel's kind of that fourth slash, coast to coast or like jet sweep, gadget guy, whatever you want to say. I think Broderick Jones is very well in play here. I think Deonte Banks, Michael Mayer, if you wanted to, you could reach down, get Brian Branch. So I think that there is a lot on the board here for the Washington Commanders, but I think Deonte Banks is just not too many people are built like him. Ran in the 4.35 range, measured great, 11 broad jump, I think it is, and then he had like over 41. So it's just an athletic human being that you can mold into a great corner. He's got some makeup speed like crazy. His technique might need a little bit of work. He's a little handsy, so might not get away with as many things at the NFL level that he did at the college level. Made this next pick very easy for me. I just went Broderick Jones. It's just simple as that. I think we already talked about him. Big human being with massive potential, but very raw right now. You can develop him into a great player. At number 18, I just missed out on Myles Murphy here, and I went Lucas Van Ness. The fall has stopped enough. I think he can go a lot higher than this, and I think he can go as low as, 22 or somewhere down there in that range. Next pick with Tampa Bay, I went out on a limb with this one and went Dawand Jones. I mentioned I listened to Chris Collinsworth, and his mock draft, the PFF the PFF NFL show, whatever, the NFL PFF show. Dawand Jones at number 19. I loved everything you said about him. And if you guys want to go listen to that, I'm sure that there's a snippet out there, or just go and find which team did he put him to? He was up really high. It was 11 at the Tennessee Titans pick. He put Dawand Jones. So not that high on him, but Dawand Jones could be a great player. I think Anton Harrison is well liked by teams. But I think that Dawand Jones is a lot more to like. And just hearing all the things that they were talking about with him and really kind of evaluating how that might stand with an NFL's team, an NFL team's mindset, that might punch a ticket in for Dawand Jones in the first round for sure. At the next pick, I went Jackson Smith and Jigba, just off the board. A good slot receiver, pro ready right away. Went Bijan, perhaps the best player in the draft at 21. Like I said, I think he's going a lot higher than this. I just never really slotted him in before now. At 22, I ended up going Quentin Johnston. And that's that. I mean, honestly, he's just a big receiver who can't go up and get it, but they already have Rashad Bateman like that, so you're getting a different type of receiver. Maybe the same body type, but different type of receiver overall. And then at number 23, went with the gadget slot receiver, shifty. Zay Flowers is a really good player, and I think that at 23 might be a little early for him. I'm not as high on him as other people are, but a lot of people are high on Zay, and I can see why at the next level he can excel at a great level, but he can also give you some problems for sure. At 23, Minnesota, I think he's happy with that one. Brian Branch, another player that might be a blue chip talent in this, top 5 defensive player in the draft, perhaps. Nickel corner that can drop back, play safety, one of the most intelligent players in this draft, it looks like. So Brian Branch, just a good player, says safety. He'll probably play nickel back, and he can play safety for sure. But New York Giants at number 25, I ended up just going Jordan Addison. I think that he's too good of a receiver. He can play outside. Size concerns are there. Maybe bulk him up a little bit. He's not getting any slower. He's already slower than we all thought. So that is kind of bad. At the next pick with the Dallas Cowgirls, I ended up just going Michael Mayer. Straightforward. The next fundamentally sound tight end. I don't think there's anything else to say about it. Then I'm surprised I have O'Cyrus Torrence dropping this far. I'm in love with O'Cyrus Torrence. I love the player. I just love a lot about it. And I actually did this pick a few mocks ago and was really happy with it. So I'll do it again. John Michael Schmitz sneaks his way into the first round at 28 to a center needy team. Whippler's been getting some hype recently. Luke Whippler down the board at 82 on this mock draft sim. Cody Mock gets a lot, but I don't think he'll be a first rounder. Joe Tippmann, I don't think so either. Avila's probably an early day 2 guy, so got that. John Michael Schmitz looks like a great center. Should be good at the next level, if not great. Ted Karras is currently playing in that center spot for Cincinnati. Whether or not you can move that around, maybe find Lyle Collins, it's fine. Like, find Lyle Collins a spot back on the line. You could do that. But Michael Schmitz will be the spot for me. You're going to want to protect Joe Burrow. He's on that 5th-year option now. And so that's that. With New Orleans' next pick, I don't want him to drop this far, but Bryan Bresee, I just didn't fit him in before this. And you see Myles Murphy still falling. Bryan Bresee, his Clemson teammate Myles Murphy, continues to fall. He falls no longer. Myles Murphy goes now at 30. I think he can go as early as the Texans at 12. I think Myles Murphy has one of the biggest ranges along with the next guy, Will McDonald. I think McDonald has probably the highest range of like where he's going. I think he can go so early. I don't even think it's funny. I think he can go a lot earlier than a lot of people think, and I think he can go a lot later than some people think. So for me, the pick here was Will McDonald, the last pick of the first round. You're basically moving to this first pick of the second round due to the Dolphins forfeited pick, so I just ended up doing this one anyways. Went Elijah Cansey, and yeah, that was the picks here for me. Got all this good stuff and whatnot. I don't know what the hell that is, but you got all this good stuff down here. You guys can see, stop the draft, pause it, whatever you guys need to do. But that'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. See you guys next time. I probably won't be live for the draft or anything like that, but I'll give you guys instant like reactions and all that good stuff. So that'll be all. See you guys next time.